Atrial fib is very common. It is by far the most common dysrhythmia or heart rhythm problem. Like prediabetes, most of it's unrecognized. You'll get these little runs of atrial fib and you may or may not feel it. If you do feel it, you think, that was weird. I got a little flopping in my chest, and it stops and you move on. Well, what we are finding is that more and more strokes that we used to think were strokes of unknown origin were actually due to atrial fib. The connection and mechanism is not that clearly understood, but here's the assumption. When you get these runs of atrial fibrillation, a chaotic dysrhythmia of the atria, and so the atria aren't able to completely contract and get that blood out of there, so blood pools there, and so maybe you're forming clots there, and when you shoot those clots out to your bloodstream, they're going up to the brain and causing a stroke. Now, why did I go into all that mechanism? Well, here's one of the reasons. You know, people that have cardiovascular issues, plaque risk factors, we still do, and believe it or not, despite what you may have heard misinterpreted in the press, not only do I, but the American Heart Association and everybody else still recommends baby aspirin if you have cardiovascular disease, if you have plaque. But here's the thing, baby aspirin doesn't do much of a job at preventing strokes associated with atrial fib. So that's the whole point. That's why atrial fib is so important. That's why it's so important to understand if you have atrial fib. The majority of us that have atrial fib don't know it. And that's why it's so important to know, because you need to be on a different type of clot prevention program. You need to be on one of the NOACs.